There we go. Okay. I said it was starting live video for like a minute. Hi, everybody. This is Frankie from Vibrance Center for Voice and Movement. And today I'm going to be taking you through some tapping because I know that people are very interested in how that works. I'm just noticing the light looks like very odd. Not that I have an ideal setup for home, but anyway, but I'm going to take you through the process of tapping. That being said, I like tapping, but I always like to start with us moving in our bodies, even when it comes to sitting meditation or getting down on the floor and doing breath and sound work. It's really important, I think, to get energized and activated in the body, especially because so many of us are doing a lot more sitting, a lot more teaching in front of the computer, and that can really impact how we're experiencing our bodies. In fact, I'm actually going to speak about that for a moment. If you're doing a lot of computer work, either because this is the first time that you're doing a lot of computer work, or you habitually work in front of the computer a lot, the occupational therapist side of me is going to come out and say, make sure that you are getting up and taking walk breaks. Make sure that you're changing position. My husband has a job that involves a lot of sitting and working at the computer. And we had actually some health complications that came up last year because of that. And so one of the things he does is he has a standing desk at the job, which is awfully nice if you can afford a standing desk or get your workplace to buy you one, but not all of us have that. One thing I like to do is find different surfaces around and put my computer on them around the house. But also, really importantly, is to think about your eyes. So let's actually start with some eye practice, then we're going to do some quick movement, and then I'll take you through the tapping. So you're probably staring at me at a screen, right? And so what I'd like you to do is see if you can listen to my voice without actually having to look at me. And so I want you to pick a point that is as far away from you as you can see now. Better yet, look out a window and look as far away as you possibly can. Let's say that's far distance. And breathe. And soften. Can you even imagine the eyeballs in your eye socket softening? And then pick a middle distance. And soften and breathe. And then pick a close distance. And better yet, you can do this with one eye. So I'm going to walk you through this quickly, but even better when you can take a little bit of time and do this throughout your day. So let's say stay there for 5 to 10 breaths. So cover one eye, look back at your far distance. Your mid distance. And your near distance. Cover the other eye. Let there be some darkness for a moment. Give your eyes a rest. And now the other eye. Far distance. Middle distance. And near distance. Cover both eyes, take a breath here. And in a moment, not yet, in a moment you're going to slowly let your palms come away from your eyes, letting the light come into your eyes, and let this be gentle so it's not a jarring experience. Hold. You'll start this gentle experience in 3, 2, 1. Gently letting your palms come away from your eyes, letting the light come back. Lovely. So now let's get up and move. Let me get this up a little higher. Excellent. Now you can see my ceiling. There we go. Okay. So, what I want you to do to start off is just find a gentle bounce, just using the balls of your feet. Let your jaw go. And let your hands come up, shaking your arms. Find a gentle bounce. Let your head go. Let your arms go wide. Let your arms go down. One arm forward, one arm back. Let your head go. And switch one arm forward and one arm back. Let your head go. Raise your right arm up. Pat, pat, pat. Breathe into your rib cage. Switch your arms, pat, pat, pat. Breathe into your rib cage. Tarzan. And pat your back because no one else is going to do it for you. Give it a shake. Let the jaw go. Clasp your hands together and gently shake out your jaw. One more time. Beautiful. All right. So we've got the blood flowing a little bit of jumping movement. And now let's take a seat and let's go over some tapping. So I'm going to bring you back down. There we go. Nice. That may be a little too close. Okay. Wonderful. Whew. So, practices, there's a reason we did some warm up with the eyes. Practices like EFT, emotional freedom technique, and also rapid eye movement, desensitization therapy is really valuable because there's a connection between how the brain works and working with the eyes. Also, EFT works on some of the energy systems of the body, and whether you think about acupressure or acupuncture, for example, we know that there's meridians in the body work like when you are mudras, and hand positions also activate energy lines of the body. I'm trying to change up my wording a little bit, just so that everybody feels like they can understand where I'm coming from. And so, we can see some themes across different practices. And it's really interesting to see how these things pop up because they work, because they're effective. There was something else that I was reading that I was going to share, and now I've completely blanked on what it was. I thought, that's such a good thing to share. Oh, right. Shoes. So there's something, it's not really related to this book, but this book is called EFT and Beyond, but the idea of choice. I have been feeling lately like I don't have a lot of choice, right? The things that bring me pleasure, teaching, performing, directing, those things, it can feel a little bit like they've been taken from me. Now my county is under an advisory to stay home. So when you feel like you don't have choice, it can feel very disorienting. It can feel very anxiety provoking. And so it's even more important than ever to have choices, to make choices about your day. And there's this thing around choice and discipline and having a schedule and a shape to your day that's even more important. Something that I was saying to another teacher earlier today is that we have to be more conscious about things that were kind of incidental and unconscious. Even as something as simple as moving around, right? That we don't, if we're staying in our houses and we're teaching out of our houses, we don't necessarily move around as much as we used to. So ensuring that you make choices throughout your day so that you say, I have autonomy, I am in charge, I'm not a victim. It's really vital. All right, so this comes into the tapping technique that I'm going to show you. The first thing I want you to do is think about something that let's start with discomfort. Is there something in your body that is uncomfortable? Are you experiencing anxiety? Something, we're not going to like approach the big world stuff at the moment, but let's start with something that's very immediate and very here. All right, so I have mine. I'm experiencing tension and discomfort in the left top part of my shoulder and the side of my neck. So the key here is to be really specific, and it can be very helpful to write this down. So the first thing I want you to do is to write down what's the specific thing that you want to talk about. So it could be, even though I'm feeling tension in my chest, even though I'm feeling a pulsing ache in the right side of my temple, even though I'm feeling discomfort and pain down the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, right? That's the problem. I want you to put in the words, I choose to, and now the tricky part. Usually the setup is something like, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I don't always feel like that's useful. It has to be a phrase that you can relate to. So for a very long time, and really still, my phrase is, I choose to honor my resilience. So no matter what I'm going through, I do connect to being resilient. I might feel stupid sometimes. I might feel, I might not be accepting myself sometimes, but resilience is a word that I can connect with. Some people can connect with, I choose to deeply and completely love myself, and that's really beautiful as well. So something that you resonates with you, okay? And for me, my resilience comes from, even if I'm in the middle of something where I feel overwhelmed, the fact that I'm taking the time to do this kind of work means that I'm being resilient. There's a choice that I'm making. I'm not letting myself be swept around by emotions or swept around by situations out of my control. So, to go back, the setup that I'm going to use, and I want you to use your own setup, is, even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. So, the setup is, you say that 3 times, whatever your setup phrase is. This is why it's really helpful to write it down. Plus, if you write it down, you have a record, okay? I'm going to pause here because this is something really important I want to talk about. The bravery that comes with self-care. Self-care is a political act. It is an act of bravery and it is an act of survival. Self-care can be go and get your nails done, but I mean, I'm talking about the self-care where it's really being able to honor yourself, to reach in and to feed yourself as a human being, as an artist, as a sensitive person, knowing what you're experiencing in your body is normal and human and acceptable, and being able to work with that. And self-care is also about doing like a deposit. It's about making a deposit in the bank. And situations, life, even the things we love, like when you're performing a show, when you're on set, when you've been rehearsing for, however many hours, those things, even though that you love them, they do withdraw energy. They do sometimes mean that you're not able to do things like laundry or grocery shopping, right? So there are things that take a toll in other areas of your life, even when you love them. My husband is in the Navy Reserves, and one of the things apparently that they say is like you can't make everybody happy. So if your civilian job is mad at you and your family is mad at you and you're not, and you're struggling to make everything happen that you need to do in terms of your responsibilities for the Navy, you're probably doing it right? That you can't give 100% everywhere. And so, especially as artists, when we are getting ready for a show, when we are getting ready for an exhibition, when we're getting ready for a big launch of something, it does mean taking away from other areas because you're having to give more into another area of your life. So, self-care is an act of bravery. It is an act of survival. It is a political act. It is what's the word I'm looking for? It's an act, it's a revolutionary act, because we live in a world where it's almost about being desperate and helpless and using yourself up and not being clued into the things that would actually make you feel better. And they don't always require money. I went for a walk today in the sunshine with my husband, and just being outside at this point and enjoying the day and getting to look around our neighborhood was really incredibly valuable, and that didn't cost anything. Okay, so back to the setup. Even though I list your problem, I deeply and completely something. I choose to deeply and completely something. So let's say this 3 times. What is your setup phrase? Even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. Even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. Even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. There's your setup. Now, I want you to, there's 2 spots. If you find those they're called the sore spots. The sore spot on your chest, or karate chop points on your hand, which is this part here, okay? We're now gonna add the 2 together. So I want you to be able to say your setup phrase while you are either massaging the sore spots. In Fitzmore's voice work, they're called the crying points, or your karate chop points, all right? So, even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. Even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to completely and deeply honor my resilience. Even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the side of my left, or the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. I'm going to do that one more time. Even though I'm experiencing pain and discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. There. So now we're going to tap 5 times on each point. There's a whole bunch of points. I'm not going to do all of them, but we're going to do a few on the face. So these are the ones that are my favorite. One is the inside eyebrow. The other is which one am I going to do? The top of underneath the nose, the top of the lip, the bottom here, just above the chin. And then I want you to do, it's a little bit under the armpit here. Okay? So, inside of the eyebrow, top of the lip, chin, and then it's just kind of drop below. It's like the bra strap point for those of us who wear bras. Okay. So breathe 5 times. And I'm going to do this for 2 more cycles. I'm going to do it again. There you go. And let's work with some eye gazes. So I'm going to get you to tap. If you put your fingers, explore, it doesn't really matter which hand you want to explore, so you can do your right or your left. But if you feel your ring finger and your pinky finger, and kind of between them, there's this point where you can feel soft tissues joining together. Gently tap that point, okay? Close your eyes. Breathe. Open your eyes. Keep your eyes open, keep your head steady. And now I want you to look hard down right. Breathe. Look hard down left. Breathe. Roll your eyes in a complete circle. Roll your eyes the opposite way. And I want you to hum Happy Birthday for 5 seconds. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hum again. Now let your hands come down and just notice whatever it is that you notice. And now I want you to hum. I want you to think of the hum starting at the top of your skull and send that hum down your spine to your tailbone. Think about how you feel, not what it sounds like. Take a big breath, hum from your tailbone all the way up into your skull. Take a stretch. Open wide. If you can, yawn. Give a little shimmy in your shoulders. And shake your arms and let that go. That's all we have time for. I want you to go through the steps and you can write them down. And then what you will then do is check in and notice if this pain was a 6 out of 10, then I would say, oh, this pain is still a 6 out of 10 or 4 out of 10 or 1 out of 10 or whatever. And then I would go through the cycle again. Even though I still have discomfort, and I would do this with my crying points, even though I still have discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I still choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. Even though I still have discomfort on the left side of my neck and the top of my left shoulder, I choose to deeply and completely honor my resilience. Then I would go through the tapping points. And then I would go through, as I'm tapping on my gamut point, I would then do my eye work. Eyes closed, eyes open, eyes hard down right, eyes hard down left. Draw a circle with your eyes one way, draw a circle with your eyes the other way. Hum happy birthday for 5 seconds. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hum happy birthday for 5 seconds. And then take a moment just to, again, rate your level of discomfort. It has been used on anxiety. It has been used on self-harm. Even though I'm having this desire to self-harm, I still honor blah, 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 right? It has been used with other negative behaviors. So the reason why I'm bringing this in today is because yesterday I was talking about feeling your feelings and how negative behaviors and addictions and things can be a way of getting out of feeling feelings. So if we're going to sit with our feelings and breathe through our feelings, having the tapping sequence can be a really valuable way to cut that type of behavior and to then choose something different. Be well, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep breathing, keep humming, keep moving, and now you can keep tapping during this difficult time. All right, see you later. Bye.